Hi there, this is Seth Shaver from Team Just Cause Robotics, and in today's video I want to talk about what exactly is going to be changing for both me personally and for my channel as we say goodbye to the shitstorm that was 2020 and move forward into the new year of 2021. So 2020 has been a really challenging year, not just for me, but probably to a much greater extent for almost everybody else, really. I kept my job throughout the pandemic, and I was able to even attend filming at Battlebots, though I will say that 2020 turned most of the year for me into something of a waiting game. I was able to start off strong in 2020. I was able to make some upgrades to Division. In December, I pretty much built the entirety of Draconid, and I brought Draconid and Division together over to Motorama in February of 2020 to compete alongside some of the best Beetle weights and hobby weights in the entire country. Then, the pandemic hit in March, and everything ground to a halt. Battlebots was originally supposed to be filmed in April. There were delays after delays after delays, and I didn't attend a single Combat Robotics event until Battlebots was actually finally filmed in early to mid-October. However, since then, I have to say, the year has improved really greatly for me. Though, first off, I want to extend my huge thanks to all of the frontline health workers, postal delivery workers, and everybody else who helped keep the economy going and keep everybody in this country and the world healthy throughout this pandemic that we've been facing. It's incredible that BattleBots was even able to happen at all, and if things had been allowed to get much worse, with more people failing to wear masks and not obeying lockdown orders, etc., I'm sure BattleBots would have been canceled for good, and it was probably very close to being canceled a number of times throughout the year before it was finally hardline scheduled in October. I also have to say that I personally know many friends of mine who lost their jobs temporarily or are still looking for work now throughout the pandemic due to working in industries like entertainment, working at bars, restaurants, and many of the other fields during which people lost almost all their work opportunities because of the pandemic and how greatly it affected so many people. And I don't want to sound like I feel like this wasn't a huge threat to everybody else just because I was personally lucky enough to be an essential worker since I worked as a mechanical engineer at an engineering firm that was deemed an essential manufacturing company throughout the months during which everywhere else was closed down or locked down. I also pretty much had to pretend like everything was normal, going into work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, like normal, every single day commuting to work, other than maybe a 2-month period during which even my company closed down. And I've been doing in-person work, wearing a mask to work, staying 6 feet away from my coworkers, and facing a temperature check as I walked into the building every morning. Now that said, work is one of the big things for me that will actually be changing going into 2021. I've actually already put in my 2 weeks notice, lived out those 2 weeks, and left my job that I was working throughout 2020. I'd stayed there for about 18 months, and it was the first job I ever had since I graduated from college in May. I actually graduated from the University of Rochester in late May, and then immediately drove up to Massachusetts, moved all of my things there, found an apartment like 2 days later, moved in, and I've been living here and working at that company up until a week ago since then. Through my experience with Combat Robotics and BattleBots, especially having those as huge resume boosters, it's actually been an amazing experience for me being at BattleBots and being able to see what the highest level of competition in the sport is like. And I was just incredibly lucky that that experience is valued in the kind of work that I was looking for as well. I'd always been trying to find a job where I could basically get paid to build robots. I mean, that's the dream for a lot of us combat robotics folks. And as a mechanical engineer, I thought that I might be lucky enough to find that in my first job out of college. But it turns out that in industry, a lot of mechanical engineering jobs are actually a lot more sitting at your desk, typing at a computer for, 8 hours a day, every day. And I would basically be doing computer-aided design work for the vast majority of my time, making 3D models and then 2D drawings of those models and sending them off to our internal machine shop, wait like 3-4 weeks for a part to get made, have it sent to me, and if there's a mistake, then I have to correct it and wait another 3 or 4 weeks for the next part. So while I did get to assemble those parts into final products at some point, it was still like 90-95% just me sitting at a computer. And I'm a very hands-on person. That's why I gravitated towards combat robotics in the first place. And the actual act of building things and fabricating and working with the electronics and the software side of things to some extent, even not just the mechanical aspects, is what drew me into combat robotics in the first place. So I'm excited to announce that I've accepted a position at the Advanced Engineering Team at DECA Research and Development up in New Hampshire, and I'll be starting there on January 6th officially. So what does this mean for me personally and for the channel moving forward? First off, I will be moving, but not right away. So right now I actually am facing like an hour and 10-minute commute that I'll be driving from my current location near where I worked previously in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I'll be driving from near Marlborough up to Manchester, New Hampshire. So it's definitely going to be a pretty brutal commute, more than an hour each way. And it's going to be over 120 miles of driving each day. Certainly a not insignificant amount of my time will be spent in the car now, but I'm hoping that it won't interrupt my video schedule too much. I've also arranged and already found another apartment that I could move into that is much closer to where I will be working in New Hampshire. So in around early March, I will be able to move and shorten my commute greatly, and that way I won't have to spend nearly as much time driving, and I'll be able to dedicate a lot more of my time again to making YouTube videos and working on my robots and all of that stuff that I love doing and being able to present to you all. I also want to give a huge thanks to everybody who supported me through this YouTube channel and all of my family members and everyone who supported all of my combat robotics work for the past several years, because it's obviously in large part due to my experience not only building robots for fun, but also being able to produce, high quality YouTube videos of presenting what exactly I did and showing that I'm applying engineering principles not just in my day-to-day work, but also as my hobby and my sport are concerned, to what I was doing for this YouTube channel that intrigued the employer that I'm ultimately going to be now working for from early January onwards. I can't say for sure that I found my dream job or anything, because I haven't started working there and don't really know what it's going to be like, but if it's anything like what it sounds like, it really does sound like it is as close to a dream job as I could expect to get. And I've been searching for a job since a little bit before Battlebots started filming, so it's been a long road to get here, and especially with the horrible job market due to the pandemic. A lot of fields, obviously many people lost their jobs, but in engineering fields, it's actually been remarkably even more stagnant than it was before the pandemic. Actually, fewer engineering firms have both been firing and fewer have been hiring than before the pandemic. Obviously, there are many more industries in which it's hard to find any kind of work whatsoever. So I'm not trying to say things have been more difficult for me than somebody who actually lost their source of income for many months. And I know that many people close to me have lost their jobs because they work in industries such as restaurant businesses, bars, entertainment, or other fields where many, many more workers have been affected than the field that I happen to work in. And my heart goes out to all of those who are facing difficulties due to all of the shit that's happened in 2020. Feel free to leave a comment below as to how exactly COVID and the pandemic has affected you personally, and how you're looking forward to some positive change going forward into 2021. So moving forward, like I said, my commute is now a lot longer, and I want to make sure that I can keep producing videos. And to that end, during the week or so break that I have between when I left my previous job and I'm starting this new one, I'm producing several different videos that I hope to space out releases of during the time where I'm not able to produce videos as effectively because I'm packing up to move or actually moving in early March. And I'm hoping that I can fill the gap during that period, but please understand that because I'll be a lot busier during that time period, I might still have a gap in my upload schedule. It's never been particularly regular. I think just before Battlebots was filming, when I was busy actually working on Bloodsport with Justin Marple, there was like a 5-week gap before I released the What It's Like to Compete at Battlebots video. And that surprisingly didn't actually dampen the support that I saw from all of you guys, so thank you for that already. But I'm really looking forward to what 2021 can bring. I mean, I have a new camera, as you probably could tell if this is the first video you've seen with the new camera. And that was a holiday gift that I got very recently, so I'm still learning the ropes on how to use it properly, but it has the ability to film high-speed video at 960 frames per second, which is 40 times slow motion. That's something that I'm really hoping to make effective use of in trying to analyze what exactly goes on, the little details of physics between when two robots collide, you know, just the difference in like what position a robot's spinning weapon is at the moment that it collides with another robot can be the difference between a glancing blow and one robot hitting the ceiling. So I'm hoping to get a closer look at what exactly goes on there, but it's very difficult to film and to create setups that can film stuff like that because, like with most high-speed video cameras, this one can actually only record for like 2 seconds at that frame rate. So you basically need to get everything pitch perfect and hit a button at just the right time and have tons of light and the focus just right for the images that you get out of the camera to look good at all. So it's definitely a learning process and something I'll be working on in the coming weeks and months. Around September of 2019, just a few months after I had graduated from college in May, I started this YouTube channel as a way to try and share some of the cool stuff that I'd been doing with Division with you all, and also try and make tutorial videos to help other people get into this amazing sport that I love so much. It was around that time that I first started learning how to even edit videos. I was using Windows Movie Maker, which is a usable but honestly pretty terrible software to be using in 2020. It doesn't let you export any higher than 1080p footage. It's just bad. Since then, I upgraded my computer so that I could work with better editing software. I started filming with my phone at like 4K and editing footage down at 1440p. I was using DaVinci Resolve, which I'm still using to edit all of my videos, which is a much more professional software, even though it's fully free. In September of 2020, having around 600 subscribers, more than doubled that now to having close to 1,300 subscribers, probably more by the time this video comes out. So it's just incredible the support that I've seen from you guys. I thank you all so much for having supported me throughout my time on YouTube. Those of you who've just joined, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Always great to see new people finding out about my channel, finding out that there's more to the combat robotics world than just Battlebots, or even just tuning in to see what a Battlebots builder's experience was like at Battlebots and what my thoughts are on the fights having competed there myself. And I also want to thank all of my longtime supporters as well for having been with me from the start and seeing how my channel has evolved and sticking with me throughout, going from crappy cell phone videos to now having like an actually reasonably decent camera that I can use as a dedicated recording device just for producing higher quality videos for you all. Like I've said throughout this video, there's going to be a lot of changes coming into 2021, but me quitting YouTube is definitely not going to be one of them. As the way I see it, this is only the beginning of what this channel can become. I've just recently been able to actually start monetizing my videos, and while at no point do I plan on quitting my day job, I mean, I literally just got a new one. At no point do I plan on quitting my day job to go to YouTube full time. I still see there as being a lot of value in producing videos for other people to get them interested in this sport. And any of the probably small amounts of money that I'll earn from YouTube, I plan to reinvest directly into getting more better equipment and making more better robots for you all, and being able to dedicate at least a little bit more of my time to adding that last minute polish that takes so much effort and so much work just to get onto a video. I mean, it could easily take me, 30% of the time that it takes editing a video to have a rough cut together, but that last 70% of the time that I spend on it is just trying to get that last 10% of the polish to make it that much better of a video. And I'm hoping that with this new camera and what it enables me to do in terms of getting like higher quality B-roll and being able to mix in like higher quality audio settings within camera, I can not only save myself some time and effort on the editing side so that I have more time to actually film and produce the videos, but I'll also be able to get higher quality content for the same or less effort for you all, and being able to produce more of it faster and easier and just in all ways better. So this is really just the start of the next chapter of Team Just Cause Robotics, and the next chapter of my personal life as an engineer as well, moving into 2021. Please let me know in the comments what else you're looking forward to in 2021. And while you're there, make sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, or, well, most of my content isn't like this, but if you want to see more about my insect weight bots, more tutorials and guide videos, or just more about what it was like competing at Battlebots and what exactly Bloodsport was up to. While you're looking to subscribe to YouTube channels, you should also subscribe to Bloodsport's YouTube channel, which is now actually called the Bloodsport Battlebots YouTube channel, and I'll link it in the description as well as in a card above here in the video so that you can easily find it. Any of the fight recap videos that I'll be editing from now on, I won't be doing 100% of the work for them. It's now going to be more of a collaborative team effort, hopefully. I know that the most recent fight one has been delayed a bit because of New Year's and everything, but we're going to get a fight recap video out from the endgame fight soon. It'll be up on the Bloodsport YouTube channel, and all of Nick from Black Lightning Robotics' weapon design videos from now on are also going to be posted to that channel, as you can find the latest one about the thick bar weapon we used against endgame on the channel right now. So go over there, subscribe. Yeah, looking forward to a much better 2021. Thanks for watching.